Hello metalheads, it's a miserable rainy Sunday. Don't fancy going out metal detecting, getting covered in mud, so I've got the moulds out. Let's make some medieval knights. Number one priority. Let's open a window, get some ventilation through here because we're going to be melting lead and pewter and I don't want to poison myself. Today we're going to be making the Prince August English Knight on Foot model. It comes as a two-part mould set. So we need to prepare these before casting. And start with a little light sprinkle of talcum powder, and that works as a releasing agent to stop the figures sticking into the mould. Just give them a light dust around, and give them a good tap to remove the excess powder. Now, I work on a ceramic floor tile, so if I spill any of the metal, it's not going to cause any damage within the house. I'll then use two ceramic wall tiles and place two prepared moulds together and clamp the tiles using a pair of hand grips. We make a start with weighing out a 50-50 mix of pewter, and that's 100 grams, and 100 grams of lead. Next we drop the material into our crucible. All the crucible is just a cheap soup ladle from the supermarket with the handle snapped off. On a low heat on the gas, let's get that melted down and mixed together. So as the metals are melting, the lead is producing some slag from where it's oxidised in the fields over the years. So you just want to stir it and scoop that off the top. Don't worry about it being on the hob, it's not going to cause any damage at all there. So you want to keep stirring this, making sure any of the slag that's sunk to the bottom of our crucible is rising to the top. get it out of our molten mix. Now that's a very good sign. The stick's smoking but not burning, so that's showing that we're pretty much at casting temperature. If my stick had caught fire, I'd have been too hot and I'd damage my moulds. Right, prepared moulds are now clamped together. Let's get our crucible of molten metal with some pliers. Do not spill it on the lino, otherwise the missus will do a nut at me. Gently pour into each compartment of the mould. Pop the crucible back onto the heat and give the moulds a good tap to help the metal flow into all the cavities. Right, we'll give that some cooling time now. Right, we've allowed a bit of cooling time for the metal to set. So let's remove the clamps, the tile supports. Now there will be a fair bit of residual heat left in the moulds, which is what we want for repeated pouring. You'll get a better defined model. Give the moulds a wiggle. Slight bend will release the components. And we'll have a close inspection of the parts, make sure they're all properly formed. If they're not, we just drop them back into the crucible, melt them again, and once we're happy that we've got all the component parts, use the little metal shears, snips, to cut them from their sprues and all the little runners that join the parts together. And all these pieces don't go to waste, they just go back into the melting pot. I now have enough component parts to make a full model, everything completely intact, no fingers, no toes missing. So what I'll need to do before assembly is to use my files and clean up all these rough edges from where they've been cut from the sprues, and then assemble them. Now, I'm batch making. Makes sense that while I've got the heat going and I'm doing the pouring, let's get plenty of figures made. So here's another completed set of components. That's now 8. 2 more will make a batch of 10. So here they are, metalheads. I've been busy through the week using my little needle files and super glue. I've got the knights assembled and I think they're looking pretty fine. Some of them I've put the visors down over their faces, some of them are angled up, and there's quite a savage horde of English knights on foot. Brilliant. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll be giving some of these away on our live chats every alternate Sunday.